Your focus and attention determines your experience. And in essence, you are beyond your experience, beyond focus and attention. You are consciousness, you are the light which is aware of experience. You are the light which can see your focus, navigating, noticing objects, appearances. If you would ask, what is the best place, the best thing to focus on, it will be a higher vibration. You see, your life experience is like a vortex spiraling up. Your life experience overall, in a big sense, is made of cycles, but how are these cycles connected? These cycles have a pattern in your life. The cycles of life have a pattern for you to grow. And many times you go through the same cycles in life, you repeat. You repeat the lessons. So many times you repeat the cycles in life. You have seemingly the same experience, but it's not really the same, because you have grown at least a bit from the previous experience. Sometimes you ask yourself, why am I experiencing the same thing over again? For example, a situation in your relationship, very common. Cycles of repetition, cycles of frustrations, anger, misunderstanding. And every time life gives you an opportunity to grow, if you take that opportunity. There is an ignorant way, of course, to be angry and blame another. To be angry, why I have to do this again? Why is it repeating again? So that is the ignorant way, and the wise way is to see it as a lesson to be learned. To ask yourself, what do I need to learn? How can I improve with this repeating situation, with this repeating cycle? Why would you in the first place repeat something? Well, because you haven't managed in the first place. You haven't responded well in the first place. So that's why you repeat. So life cycles are designed for you to grow. And life cycles have a pattern. They're actually organized like a vortex spiraling up. You see, your whole life is like a vortex. Actually, the whole universe is, we could say, a vortex of cycles spiraling up to a higher and higher vibration, closer and closer to the source. So your soul is on this evolutionary vortex. Your whole life is on evolutionary vortex. The soul has many lifetimes. The source is infinite. It contains, within the source, there is the whole universe of all souls and all life expressions, soul expressions. So everything is designed to uplift on a higher and higher vibration, to come closer and closer back to the source. So what is the best way to utilize the power of your focus and attention? It is to focus on a higher vibration. What is the next step? What is the higher vibration? How can you uplift your experience to a higher vibration? And that's where the levels of consciousness come in. They clearly define the key levels of experience of your consciousness. And within these key levels of consciousness, everything evolves, rotates, and goes in cycles according to that level of consciousness. The levels of consciousness are like a map, and they define the common denominators, the common vibrations that one usually experiences. However, of course, all of you are unique forms, unique individuals, unique souls. Quite the same minds, I would say, but unique souls. Because the mind is simply a repetition on a loop, nothing more. It just loops the tape until your soul starts to listen. So then the growth begins. So there is a uniqueness, of course, in every one of you, and that is so beautiful. But at the same time, your life overall, when you look at the big picture of humanity, of millions of people, you will see that everybody goes through similar experiences according to the levels of consciousness. It's just that there are certain variations, unique variations, in your unique way, but the lessons are the same. The bigger lessons are the same. So then you start seeing that everything can start making sense. It's no longer life unknown, life without a purpose, or mystery, or ignorance, or maybe one day I'll figure it out. These are all ignorant ways. You can either ignore it in a happy way or ignore it in a depressing way. You know, it's how you experience life. But knowing the truth liberates. The truth liberates. It shines the light. It shows the way. It dispels the ignorance. It removes the ignorance. So thus, the wise way, it is to come in alignment with life, with the vortex, with the universe, in the right alignment with the source. It is not wise to paddle against the river flow. It is not wise to walk against the wind blow. It is not wise to go against life, because you will never win. You will never win against life, against the universe, against the source. You may try, but you will surely fail. And surely something wrong is going to happen. And that's why it's called ignorance. So a wise way is to align yourself with the source, with the universe, with life, vortex. And then the magic starts to happen, which is actually a science. It's not a magic, it's a science. Magic is something unknown. Science is known, experiential, even verifiable when you look at larger numbers of human population. So it's actually a science, because universe is not magical. Universe is actually intelligent being. Magic is only that which is not understood, unexplainable yet. That is magic, that which is not explained yet. So thus it is very wise to align yourself with life, with the universe, with source. And then you will start experiencing what is called synchronicities. That suddenly life is helping you somehow. Somehow life starts to guide you. Something inside you starts to guide you, to help you. Synchronicities come. Suddenly a friend tells you something. Suddenly somebody does something that is totally good for you, or totally what you needed or wanted. So somehow things start to align. Somehow. Because you are aligning with life, with the way of life, the way of universe and the source. And that's called the Great Way. The Great Way. And the nature of the universe, of the Great Way, is love. It's light, it's truth. Light creates, love sustains, truth completes. You would only experience suffering because you are not in alignment with the Great Way, because there is some sort of distortion. Something is out of balance. And when things are extremely out of balance, that's what's called karma. When you are extremely out of balance with life, universe, source, that's called karma. And you have to rebalance it. You have to bring it back into the balance. It's not a punishment. It's bringing it back into balance, rebalancing, reharmonizing. The universe has laws, has the way it functions. And if you violate these laws, the way it functions, then of course there will be consequences. You will have to rebalance. You will have to repeat and rebalance. So karma is never intended to be negative. I don't even like to use the word karma. I prefer the word balance. It's all about balance and harmony. So the universe wants to help you, but you also need to want to be helped. Many times you receive inner guidance and you receive advice once and twice and 3 times, but then your ego kind of says, no, I still should do it my way. Well, you will see what happens then. Sooner or later, you will see that something is not going the way that the ego wanted. So that's why when you get this intuition, you should really listen to it. When you receive a sense of guidance, you should really listen to it. Sometimes it's going to make you completely, absolutely no sense. You will receive an inner guidance and it makes no sense. Your mind simply cannot understand it, process it. Like everybody does it like this. Why should I do it differently? Your mind will say, but your intuition says do it differently this time. And if you follow that, you will see. If you're going to repeat the same as everybody else did in your lower vibrational environment, well, you're going to see the lesson behind it. You're going to have to repeat it next time again. So now coming to the higher end of the vortex of life is when you focus on a higher vibration, everything aligns to help you. Everything aligns to give you power, assist you. When you focus on a higher vibration, on a higher purpose, on a higher intention, on a selfless action, on a selfless cause. There are many ways. And you have to always follow through it. You can't pick one way and continuously repeat that because it will expire. You know, you live in a real-time universe. You live real-time actually, isn't it? You can't be habitual even on a higher vibration. So even when you focus on a higher vibration, you can't be habitual because you will see that the universe is working real-time, not by habit. So when you focus on a higher vibration, higher purpose, higher will, selfless action, there are so many ways to focus on a higher vibration. You will always explore something new, either outside or inside. You will always experience a new challenge that you can make it, that it's worthy to you. A worthy challenge. When you focus on a higher vibration, you're going to start to manifest things, experiences on a higher consciousness. If you focus even your hobbies to be on a higher vibration, your free time, you will start to manifest things on a higher consciousness. Even if you're in a full-time position, it's okay, but you still have your hobbies, and if you focus on that selfless action, on a higher vibrational way, then over a period of time, it's going to transform. it's also not a quick thing. It's a way of living. It's not a one-off, okay, now the universe, I'm going to give you back, and then I can continue living my way. It's not a one-off thing as well. It's a real-time continuation. Real-time continuation, in essence, every second, every moment. I know you're looking for an easy way, all of you. I can totally see that. Okay, so now I'm gonna make this one action and I'm gonna be good for the whole year. I'll do the selfless things on Christmas only. You can't cheat the universe. You can only fool yourself. You can't cheat the universe. It's a continuous evolution. It's a continuous growth. So that is the way to live, the way of life. And of course, some of you feel a little tingling, a little anxiousness or a little excitement. Can I do this? Yes, you can. That's your purpose, step by step, to improve, to raise your experience, bit by bit. Nobody's expecting you to do too much that you can't do, that you can't handle. But there is surely something that you can do that will help towards a higher purpose, that will help someone in some way. So you see, the source, the universe, life, whatever you name it, only expects you to do something on a higher vibration, that which you can do, and that which is always slightly challenging, which is not fully your comfort zone. Because what is fully your comfort zone, that's called habit or settlement. Or then it becomes laziness, it becomes boredom, it becomes ignorance. So you always have to push yourself just a little notch up, just a little bit up, just a little challenge, just something new that you haven't done before. And that's why you always need to learn something new, something more. So the only constant, as I like to say, the only constant is change and growth and evolution. That is the only constant. Otherwise, it's staleness, or what we call camping. Otherwise, it's camping or being stale. So you always need to embrace challenges, even those which push your buttons totally. They're the best challenges. You always have to embrace them, to know that life wants you to grow, that life will help you to grow, to support you, the universe, all the beings in the universe. So that is the great way, the great way. And at the highest level, the great way is to always, we could say, focus on the self, on God, on consciousness, on absolute. So there are some forces in nature. They're called three gunas or three forces of nature. one which is uplifting, it's called sattvic. It's pure, it's purity, upliftment, joy, harmony. It's one of the forces of nature, that which assists you to grow higher. The second force of nature is called action and desire, and that's called rajas, that which inspires you to make action, which gives you a wish, a desire to do something. And the third force of nature is crudifying, solidifying, densifying, and that's called tamasic force. Within every person, there is a balance of these three forces. So if one is quite lazy, then there is a predominantly tamasic force. If you are too much agitated, too much in action, too much busy, then you're predominantly rajasic. And then when you come into a more peaceful state, lighter way, more balanced way, it's called sattvic, more pure way. It's called the sattvic force. And you need to continuously balance these states. So if you are in a lazy state, then you need to move, to do something, to come out of that boredom, laziness. If you are too much into action, you need to slow down, come more into peace, lightness, more pure way of living. And even when you come to the sattvic way of living, which is a pure way of living, you can't camp on that either, because that's a force of nature. You need to transcend that too, to transcend even that pure way, even that way, and that's transcendence into the source. So thus your focus and attention are your tools, are your greatest powers. And now you need to learn how to use them wisely. How to understand the nature of the universe, the laws of the universe, life, universe, source. Life generally means something alive that you live, that there is some sort of continuation of life. And that's why people make babies, because they continue living, their DNA continues. There is some sense of continuation. Since human beings are mortal beings, they make children to continue. In a higher dimensions, beings are not mortal, so they don't need to make offsprings, because they can live for thousands of years. So life generally means living, continuation. Then there is the universe, which is a much larger understanding of existence. You see, life transforms. Yes, you wear this biosuit right now. Next lifetime, you're going to have another biosuit. Plus the operating system called your brain and your mind. But that which remains throughout lifetimes is not this body and not your brain and not your mind. Next lifetime, what remains is your soul, the essence. So the universe is a larger being. There is one universe, one being, and Every one of you is a cell of the universe, if you think of it. You're like a cell of the universe. Just like you have this physical body, and this physical body has 50 trillion cells. And they all play a key part in functioning of the overall of this body. So the same way, every one of you is a cell of source. You're part of one. In a relative terms, in absolute terms, you are one when you come to that deepest place. But in relative terms, this physical body, this organism, is a cell of the larger organism, which is this planet, this galaxy, this universe. So this is already a big answer. What is the purpose of your life? What is the meaning of life? It's to be in alignment with the great way. And then everything will manifest. And you will come on a higher and higher vibration, and you will become a better and better version of yourself. You know, when you were a child, you had a certain idea of who you want to be when you grow up. And now you have grown up. You know, obviously, most likely it has changed quite a lot. In the same way, whatever you have now as a purpose and meaning of your life, when you grow up a bit more next year or in the next few years, you're going to see it's going to be quite different, whatever you're thinking right now. So pondering on the question of what's the meaning and purpose of my life is quite useless, really. All you need to do is focus on a great way, live according to the great way. And then you will see that you will manifest that which you even couldn't dream of. That which you couldn't even couldn't imagine before. And this is how your life already has changed, because suddenly you met a friend who told you something, and here you are. And now you're learning about the great way of life. And you're learning about the source, and you are within the source. Would you ever have imagined that you're going to be here 5 years ago? Of course not. So don't waste your time now to ponder on these big questions of life. Just focus living life on a high vibration. Utilize every moment to live on a higher vibration. And then let life show you. Let life manifest. When you focus, then you will manifest. So when you are in alignment with the higher vibration, then the laws of manifestation and the famous law of attraction, it became a celebrity law. Out of 1,000 laws, that law became celebrity because suddenly everybody liked it. Everybody saw a benefit of law of attraction. Nobody sees the benefit of law of gravity that keeps your cells together and keeps this body together. But everybody sees the benefit of attraction. It's just how the human brain works. Just like valuing diamond, which is a useless stone, and then when you have a crystal, which is actually a living, alive energy. You know, if you would give me a diamond or a crystal, I would choose crystal. Diamond, what is it? It's worthless. It's just a piece of coal which has been compressed. You know, what can I do with it? Nothing. You know, just apart from some kind of jewelry still, which is worthless, it doesn't do any good for you. Well, just humans value it for what? For because there aren't enough of it. But it has no more value than that. So crystal has much more value. It has actual alive energy, and it helps you, it heals you, it uplifts you, it brings you to a higher vibration. So value is a very big question. And humanity has invented such a strange ways of living. It's a very strange world in many ways. It makes completely no sense in a real sense. So when you focus on a higher vibration, you're going to start to manifest. And your mind is limited. Understand this, your mind is limited. Don't invest too much time and energy and money in your mind. It's limited and it's quite worthless, and you will not need it in the future. Invest time on uplifting your energy and consciousness. That is a wise investment into your future. The mind is just going to subside and disappear in your happiness and bliss. The mind is not worth investment unless you need it for some practical application, for example, for a certain job activity. Then of course you can take a course and learn this and that in terms of the mundane life activity. But in terms of the real value of your living, your life, and your contribution to this universe, it is your energy field and your consciousness, which is actually worth. It has value to this universe. You know, people do so many things which are worthless to the universe itself. You know, if we examine the human activity on this earth, around 90% is worthless to the planet itself and to the universe itself. In some cases, even it's parasitical. You know, consuming resources, poisoning the earth, damaging the nature. For the planet, sometimes humanity is like a virus. It's damaging the earth. But planet is a large organism, it has immunity system, and it can kick humanity left and right as it wishes. You know, the planet is the host. It's where people live. So this is why everybody needs to change focus. What is valuable to the earth, to the future of humanity, and to the evolution of the universe? And that is the life worth living. That is the life worth living. So you have to really reevaluate everything you do according to the great way. Very simply, you can ask yourself question, is it helping in evolution of humanity, whatever you do? Is it helping the earth, whatever you do? And is it helping in the evolution of the universe, whatever you do? It's a very easy way to check the value of your activity. And most of the people live their whole life simply being consumers. That's called consumer society. the civilization. We have grown to be civilized. We have learned to exploit everything that we see. We have learned to control the way we wish the nature and the forces. And that is the ego manifestation on a mass scale. On a mass scale. So luckily humanity has not yet capacity to go beyond this blue dome that we call the sky. Because, yes, the common humanity would create mess everywhere else in the galaxy. So we neither need to think of a galaxy if it's too much and it doesn't fit in your head, but think of now. Think of what you do and then evaluate, is it helping everyone else? Is it uplifting vibration of humanity, of everybody else? Is it helping the planet? Is it helping the universe? So why are you here then? So perhaps you have learned something which is not useful. Maybe you have been programmed in your school, in your educational system, your parents, your friends, and these would be called negative influences. And you surely have capacity to change right now, to make that choice, to make that decision, to change right now. And to use your focus, your attention in a wise way, to start living in the great way. So next year when you come to the same retreat, I want to see how many of you are living in the great way. And you're going to tell me, yes, I've been living in a great way. And I've been doing this and that, and my life has changed like this, like that. In 1 year, you can't even believe how many things you can change. So next year, I'm going to look for your stories. We have a deal? Who is saying no? So you see, this should be taught at the primary school, isn't it? How to live. So this should be common knowledge taught in a primary school, how to live. And that is the purpose of New Humanity School, to bring this knowledge, to spread it, that as many people as possible would learn about this. When you hear this, it's so simple, isn't it? It makes complete sense. How could you argue with that? You know, that a higher vibrational living is not good for the universe and everybody else. And then there is the balance as well, yes? Remember that too. You make a change, you push yourself higher, then you need to love yourself as well and bring things into a new balance, into a new harmony. You can't always push yourself too far because you also need balance, balance, balance. But this balance will come on a higher and higher vibration. This is how it works. So evolution is uplifting. Love is bringing balance, healing as well, that which was out of balance, that which was damaged before, to heal with love. And then there is integration, integrating. So first you open, you shift, you evolve, you grow, and then you heal, bring things to balance, and then you integrate and complete. You complete the cycle of growth. When you complete a cycle of growth, there's a little pause. Maybe that's called a holiday or retreat. Well, retreat is more about upliftment. Maybe a holiday. When you complete a big cycle, you take a little holiday, go to a nice beach, do something just for a week or two, and then surely a new cycle starts to open. So the nature of the cycles are upliftment, harmonization, healing, balancing with love, and then completion, integration, a new stabilization on a higher vibration. So the three parts of the cycle. And then there is a little break in between, which you can call it a holiday or time of peace and rest. And then a new cycle opens up. A new beginning opens up. And that is the ever evolving vortex of vibrations. It will never end. Life will never end. The universe will never end. It will end, but let's say it will never end. It will transform and change, and you will migrate to another universe. Don't worry about that. But the universe or universes will never end, because they're quite fun to experience for the source self. And the source self always was, is, and will be, will never end. So there are billions and trillions of years that I'm talking about into the future, and they will still never end. So we have a lot of time to play with, isn't it? I have a lot of time to grow.